All right, so we just got the Razer Atlas in. I have yet to actually do anything with it. We want to do a bit of a unbox slash first impressions on it. And of course, we're gonna have to transition over to the webcam and the hand cam and actually start shooting things. But yeah, let's see how it is. And I'll already start this with like a sound test for cloth. And of course, we're using Death Adder V3. And I decided to go with black here. And yeah, it's larger than I anticipated, which is good because I thought it might have been too small. But ooh, that the feel is super. Like I have a glass desk. That's disgusting. This, ooh, that doesn't feel like glass. That feels like some random like element found in outer space or something. Like that ain't from this world. I don't know what that is. But yeah, this is gonna be pretty crazy. So I'm just gonna do a quick like test on sound. So I don't know how loud that is in the on the camera, but that is still, it's not crazy, but it is quite loud in real life. But the I can see that the tracking is gonna be like every like you're like it's really easy to get the mouse started. When on here it's like it can track in like jolts because it requires a bit of extra force maybe, and you kind of track in jolts. And then here it's like just a pinky weight can move it to the left. So that's going to be interesting for tracking. I think I might actually wind up really liking that. I apologize to anyone in Discord because that might actually be quite loud through the microphone. We're going to have to test that. But I'm sure with headphones on, that's not going to be an issue. Texture though, like, let me try that over here for example. So I guess you get the idea there. Yeah, it just moves like it gets away from you even. It's very fast. And this is apparently the highest control glass pad. Apparently SkyPad, and that's faster. And what I noticed already on this is that it's not sticky. Like this, that feels amazing. That feels nicer than having it on a cloth pad. That feels like this I get stuck on. This, that's butter. Maybe if I get like sweaty or whatever, it's gonna be a little, might get stickier. But that feels nicer than my cloth pad to move my forearm on. So I might not need a sleeve. That's gonna be kind of interesting to go through. But yeah, this is looking pretty sweet. Of course, I can't actually unbox it because I'm holding the phone with one hand here and filming with the other. Or sorry, holding the box open with one hand, filming with the other. But yeah, let's transition over to some flick tests and whatnot, and we'll get a first impression on actually shooting things with the Atlas here. So just in the shooting range of Shatterline here, right off the bat, since I'm wearing headphones now, I don't have that scrapey feel, but the speed of the pad is pretty crazy compared to a normal cloth pad. But I did use a hard plastic pad once, and I had to almost immediately return that. This isn't quite the same. It's way smoother. I know without headphones, it doesn't sound like it because it's a little scrapier. So we're gonna really have to see if that picks up in Discord. But what I noticed right off the bat, and this is me. This is like my first time using it, so this is I'm not used to this at this point. And we're still hitting a lot of like kind of confident flicks, but also the tracking. So I'll cover a couple of examples. Like you'll see, I'll stop in the shooting range here, and the two outside bots run just the full length over and over again. So I'll be able to stop and kind of practice tracking. But you'll see here, at least on, I hope it's one of the examples, just kind of how easy it is to follow at a consistent speed like that. Where on the cloth pad, sometimes it's a little bit jolty. That could just be the pad I use or the heat or, whatever. Or mixture of the high sensitivity on a slow pad. It could be a little bit jolty, but it's never really been too big of a problem for me. Like a jolty tracking, I don't feel like I track like that. But you see, even there, just running, like I can kind of pinpoint every single bullet to track because it's so smooth. So this is definitely going to take some getting used to. This is again my first time trying anything like this, but the initial impression is really good. Is it 150 Canadian dollars good? I don't know yet. I'm also starting to realize while I was doing this, at first my arm feels super smooth on it. Like, oh, that's an example of tracking here as well. So I track it there, and this is about 30 centimeters to do with 360. That's just ADS sensitivity I use. We'll see here the tracking, and usually that's a kind of a not high sense, but kind of high sensitivity where even tracking just like that, I could still be pinpoint accurate, pretty much the whole path through of their lane there. So the tracking, I would say, already feels better than a cloth pad. Again, it's going to take a lot of practice time. But yeah, back to what I was saying, my arm, it did, like after doing this for a little while, like it felt super smooth at first. After doing it for a little while, there was a little bit of my forearm getting stuck. And if you rewound that, my wrist, I'm cranking my wrist back because my arm is kind of stuck to hit that left turn there. So that's something I'm going to have to try. Just getting either like a gaming sleeve or just some type of long sleeve kind of sports shirt, maybe cut the sleeve off. I don't know. I'll probably wind up getting a gaming sleeve. But yeah, everything feels pretty snappy. And like the very first impression of putting the mouse pad on it and moving it, like, and some YouTubers said this too, like you need to expect this off the start. Your initial impression is heck no. And that's kind of how I felt initially, just because like the cloth doesn't make any noise really. It's just a smooth glide. And this is like, so you actually feel like you're damaging your mouse feed or something. And that's what's really crazy. But you know, when you play with your headphones in, you're starting to dial into your shots. Like here, I'm starting to really get dialed in. Like these snaps are pretty much all on point. And once you actually get dialed in, it feels really good. And you don't notice the scrapiness or anything like that, because it doesn't feel scrapey. It feels very smooth. It just sounds scrapey. So that was something to kind of get over. But yeah, we're going to continue using this pad. This feels... I'm always down for trying new things to, you know, get my aiming on the next level. And so far, this mouse and mouse pad, this may be it. We'll see. I'll do a bit more of a review later on. Thanks for watching.